Deputy Murphy.
Thanks, Chair. Taoiseach, I saw that the British ambassador to Ireland has taken a break from Twitter after he said that he had been subject to abuse on the basis of his nationality. Obviously, nobody should be subject to abuse on Twitter or elsewhere, and people are free to join and leave social media platforms as they wish. But it's worth noting what he was actually referring to. He tweeted saying, had it not been for NATO operations, many people in the former Yugoslavia and Afghanistan would not be alive today. That in response to the protests at the so-called consultative forums. And he was met with a lot of correct criticism of NATO. People making the very obvious point that, well, if it wasn't for those NATO interventions, very many more people would still be alive today. The war crimes committed by NATO, to give one example, the bombing of the radio television in Belgrade, described by Amnesty as a war crime, the thousands and thousands of civilian deaths in Yugoslavia and in Afghanistan, not to mention the hundreds of thousands as a consequence in the Middle East. So isn't it fair enough that if someone intervenes in our foreign policy debate, that they're going to get a robust response and debate from people?
And I think the reference to our gallant allies is actually a reference to Germany, Austria and Hungary, who are indeed our allies, but that was a very different context. In my view, all EU countries are our allies, as is the US, Canada and the UK. We share a common travel area with the United Kingdom. People can live, work, study, access housing, healthcare, social welfare in each other's countries as though we were citizens of both. I think that's really important for Irish and British citizens alike. We have enormously close trading relationships. Most of us have families in Britain, I think, so we've huge connections to Britain. We help each other out on security, but we don't always agree. We have disputes, we have disagreements. We had them over Brexit, we've had them over legacy, we'll have them over other things. And being an ally doesn't mean you just back each other up all the time. It means you tell each other the truth, often when the other person doesn't want to hear it. We have had to do that in our relationship with Britain on a number of occasions in recent years. And I know Deputy Boyd Barrett will be a very strong ally of Palestine. And I'm sure in his engagement with Palestinian groups, whether it's PLO or Hamas, he would raise issues such as the suppression of LGBT rights in Gaza and the West Bank, the lack of democracy, the treatment of women, corruption, all of those things. That doesn't make you any less an ally.